to tell us what. Oh, and we're live. Yay, we're here. Episode 6. Holy moly, episode 6. I thought this would, just be like a one Tuesday kind of thing, but no, episode 6. Oh, somebody's here. Oh,
wrong.
Oh, Nellen Crow. Is there a link to tune in? Okay, so I'm just going to check. Somebody can't get on. I don't know why. What I'll do is I'll respond to them, but in the meantime, I'm going to introduce our guest today, and we have Lori Grover. Said that correctly, right?
You did, yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Freelance copywriter. Just wave because you're going to introduce yourself in just a quick sec. There she is. And we have Dana Castro, who can do like pretty much everything. She's a photographer and a graphic designer, yes, and she's got her own company, so yes. Hi, Julie Wooster's on. Hi, Julie. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to handle somebody here on the phone who can't quite get on. So I'm just going to make it larger here so we can all see each other. And I'll let Lori, if you want to introduce yourself and what you do and how you and I met, that you ended up here today. That would be great. So you've got a couple minutes to go.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Lori Grover. As Andrea said, I'm a freelance copywriter. I write website copy, email campaigns, sales pages, blog posts, all that fun stuff. Andrea and I met through Busy Women, through that group and the wonderful supportive network online. And that's how I ended up here today.
That's it? That's all you got? Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
I didn't even type in yet. Okay. Neilyn found it. She's on. Sabrina's on. Julie. Okay, one more person. I just got to check with her. She can't figure out what's going on. All right, Dana, you're up.
Awesome. I'm Dana, and I own 3 Crowns Studio, and I do everything branding, mostly with women, but obviously all types of small businesses. So I do graphic design, web design, and then photography as well that goes with that. And they all kind of take up equal portions. I think you and I met through Mob, Andrea. I think
originally, so. Yes, we did.
Yeah, but then we see each other at other places.
I know. There's a lot of cross going. Okay, what's going on here? All right, everybody's hooked on. Okay, we're all good.
Awesome.
Well, technology's awesome. I got pings all over the place. Okay, I'm going to turn my phone away now. We're done. All righty. So I'm just going to, okay, this is not a hot flash. Well, it could be. It might be a hot flash. Who knows? I was freezing this morning. My ear's a little stuffy. My eyes a little kind of like, I don't know if y'all get like sinus problems or if you get like allergies, but it always seems to be like the one eye kind of like right back in here. And you're walking around going like, today I think I'll be a pirate because this feels really good walking around the house with one eyeball today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, drive me nuts. So I apologize if I'm a little loopy. I was just telling the ladies earlier that I have all kinds of medications going on here because I think it's a sinus thing or an allergy thing. It's not COVID. And if it is, I'm safe because I'm home. So yeah, that's just what's going on today. So hopefully I'm not too crazy and too loopy or too out of it. And if I just sit there for a couple seconds, I may freeze. One of you just go, hello, hello, hello. I'm sure I'll be okay.
Andrea, you're getting sleepy.
Oh, you're getting tired. Yeah, I know. I got caffeine in here. This is not beer. This is iced tea. But I got
nice.
On here, so.
That'll keep you going.
Summertime we do iced tea, and in the winter we're going to do hardcore tea. Alrighty, so let's get just jumping in, and I'll ask a couple of questions, and we'll just kind of see where they go. I want to talk to Lori, and I want to ask her, when people find out what you do for a living, what is the biggest misconception they have about what you do? If you could clear that up.
That it has something to do with copyright law, actually.
Oh. Okay.
People will sometimes, like I'll say the words copywriter and they immediately go to copyright, like as in a copyright law and things like that.
Okay.
That's sometimes where people will actually go.
Okay, so what is the difference if I was to think copyright law and then copywriter? How would I be able to distinguish the difference between those two things?
So yeah, then once I let people know, I actually tend to describe the types of things that I write so that then it's a little bit more clear once they know, okay, like I write the copy on websites, I write, advertising, marketing, words that are promotional writing. So then people kind of
copy means old school newspaper copy, which is when people used to, when printing presses and things were done by hand 100 years ago. Copy meant the actual words that were going to be copied onto the page. Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? So you're a word writer. When
Yep.
you talk copywriting, you deal with words and putting them all together and putting the ideas together and making them all sound good. Not actually copywriting.
Yeah.
Like, this is my product and I own it. You can't steal it. That's copyright law. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there. Drugs
Yeah,
are not
I work with
that bad.
in terms of
that.
drugs are working.
Drugs are working good. Maybe I should be on drugs a little more often. I'm kind of the ball right now. Okay, I just want to say hello to a few people. We have Julie Luther, Sabrina Morgan, Nellen Krull, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Nellen or Nellen, you're going to have to tell me one day how to say it.
It's Nellen.
Nellen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dana's going to. That's awesome. Well, that's good because I don't know how to say it.
I'm
Yes,
seeing her
Laura?
tomorrow, so I should, yeah.
Oh, okay. And Janet Dawes. So how do you know Nellen?
Nellen owns Myofascial Mississauga,
Oh,
and they do amazing myofascial based physiotherapy, and they also do massage and acupuncture. And they're one of my clients. I built their website and did the photography for their new location. Yeah.
Ooh. So there
Yeah.
you go, Nellen. You got a plug. Look at that. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. All right, Dana. So you get the floor. So the same thing with you. When people hear the Three Crowns Studio, and you do a lot of different things, what is the misconception people have about what your company does?
I think I get asked a lot about which one I do more or which one I like best.
Yes.
They're like, okay, but which one? Like, which one is the, like, your main meat and potatoes? And there's definitely times that it fluctuates from a little more of one thing, a little more of the other, but it's pretty divided into thirds there. And I like all three equally, which is why I don't really want to give one up just yet.
Yeah.
But I think,
why do you have to?
I don't. Sometimes it would be easier if I just did one, because it's a lot to juggle sometimes, depending on the workload and shifting from one mode to another.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people I think when you do more than one thing in your business, I think that does confuse people a little bit, because they kind of want you to be like, wait, are you a photographer? Or are you a web designer? Which one?
It's just what they're used to. And
yeah.
I get
Yeah. So stay in a lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in the lane.
I like the dotted ones where you can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So yeah, I mean, if you're good at a lot of different things, why can't you do it? And I guess it's just up to us to educate people that we can do more than one. I mean, we're moms, we're business owners, we're wives, we play sports, we sing, we do all kinds of things. You're a multifaceted human being. So if you do like being in business and doing lots of different things so that you're not bored yourself, I find if you're bored at what you do, you can't give to the people you're supposed to be helping. I mean, how do you be creative? How do you show up every day and go what you do and give that enthusiasm and all that effort to somebody else if you don't like what you're doing? So if you need that kind of variety, in your business so that you can give back to your clients, and as long as you can pull it off and you're not pulling your hair out, you just do what you got to do. Awesome. Okay, let's go for something silly and fun. How did you like the questions? Just out of curiosity, because I change them a little bit every week for the guests that are on.
Ooh, they made me think. I had to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hurtful. That was
no.
Depending
on the day. No, I was like, oh, okay, these are fun. They're more fun to answer. And then I had to think, what are some of my answers for these? Even the fun ones. So
good. Okay. So let's just jump into. All right. So Dana, you were talking with what's the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
I've ever had.
I've never
been.
When you were a kid, I mean, what was the best one that you remember that just was the be all and end all?
Anna Green Gables for sure.
Oh
yeah. I was a big Anna Green Gables fan, so I had like the hat with the red braids, and then I even had like an Anna Green Gables birthday party that year, so I wore it again for that. Pretty wholesome, but yeah, that was probably my most.
That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah, so long.
Yeah, I'm not going there yet. It's just early in the show. I'm not going to pick on anybody yet. Vicki Nichols is here too. Hi, Vicki. Okay, so let's see here. What was the worst job you ever had, Lori? Worst thing you ever did that you're like, yeah, no, can't go back tomorrow. I'm done.
Worst job I ever had was waitressing.
Oh, really?
And that's because I was really bad at it. So my two biggest faults, if you had to ask me what my two weaknesses are, one, I have a horrible memory, and two, I'm a huge klutz. So like I'd forget orders. I would drop things. I would spill things. It was a disaster. It was not for me.
Not for you.
My
Well, it's good that you
father-in-law
found
owned the
it.
business.
I'm sorry? Your
Luckily, my
father-in-law owned the
father-in-law owned the business. So yeah, that's the only reason I didn't get fired, I think.
Alrighty, okay. That's something I've never done, and I always thought I probably would have liked to do. But thinking about it now, I don't know that I would. It seems frenetic. It just seems like it's like so much going all at once, and it's running back and forth, and I just don't know that I could do that. And I'm really short, and I think I would get knocked over a lot too. So I don't think that would work for me. Okay, so this is why you do this job sitting down, because nobody can tell. All right. So, Dana, if you had one superpower, what would it be?
I would like to be invisible. I'd like to be like a fly on the wall type situations. I would love to
you want to eavesdrop on
yeah,
people.
for sure. I want to yeah, but on like movie sets and stuff. Like nothing nothing that no like serious spying, but just I'd like to be able to like eavesdrop and hear things that I'm not supposed to.
So you don't want to gather dirt and blackmail people.
No,
that'd be another business.
No.
That's another revenue stream, I guess you could always pull into.
True.
Right?
It's true. No, I don't want to do like malice with it. I just want to eavesdrop for my own pure personal curiosity, but like on juicy things, not just like my neighbors.
Okay, that makes sense.
Curious.
Ready? Okay, so let's see about Lori. Do you have any pets at home, like dogs or cats?
One of each.
Really? Okay, so how does that work? One of each. I'm just curious about that. They get along really well?
They do, actually. So we got the dog first, and she's 6. She's a golden retriever, and she's just a giant suck. And then we got a kitten. She's almost 2. But yeah, they get along really well. The cat will like run and like do like parkour off the dog. She's like super fast. So she'll like run up and swat the dog's tail or jump on her back and then jump back off. So it's
like that old cartoon where it had that big that big bulldog, and that was that little yippy dog that was like, come on, Spike, and he kept running and attacking them. And okay, so you have 2 pets. Okay, so pick whatever you want. So if you could ask any 3 questions to your pets, what would they be?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I would have to ask my dog why she is so excited to see us when we've been gone only for 5 minutes.
Like we're coming back.
Where do you think we go? You know, like
you're like, we do this every day.
Go outside for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. What else would you ask? What about the cat?
I would also like to ask her if she actually tastes the food she eats or if she just like swallows it. Like if she has an actual favorite, because she will eat anything and it happens really quickly. So I'm like, do you actually taste it or are you just like swallowing it whole?
Yeah, when we got our second cat, Gidget, we had a cat at first, and I found her as a stray. So she was my cat, and then I met my husband, then we had kids, and that one passed away. We got another kitten, Gidget. So I figured I knew cats. I knew what to do with cats. And you said about eating everything. This cat would eat the cords off. Yeah, and then my daughter had this necklace. We had taken the kids down to the ROM their birthday weekend. We did a weekend in Toronto. We did the CN Tower, did the ROM, did the AGO, stayed at a hotel. Like they just wanted to ride the subway. So we just did a weekend thing for their birthdays. And she bought this beautiful corded necklace at the ROM with all these little jewels and left it on her nightstand, had it for 2 days, came home after school, and everything that was left was just all the metal pieces. The blue rope thing disappeared. Where the hell did it go? Well, it came out the cat. No longer blue, but I was like, why are you consuming? I can understand the chewing, but you're actually consuming and ingesting. That is not going to survive. I don't know what else to do with this cat. She's 11 and she's lived, but I'm like, oh my God, I've never known a cat to do that. Go to pull out your blind cords and all of a sudden they fall and you're like, where's the rest of the cord? Why are you eating all those strings in the house? So
it was a snack.
Oh, yeah. My old cat used to eat tinsel off the tree. That was not fun either. Oh goodness, crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, let's move on to something else because that could be a whole other thing. Alrighty. So how about what important skill do you think everybody should have just in life generally that maybe people don't get when they're younger? This is for both of you. What important skill do you think everybody should have?
Independence.
I would say like,
Independence, like that's
You should know how to do everything in your life alone.
Yeah. Yes,
You
alone.
should know how to travel alone. You should know how to, you should know how to log into all your bank. This is especially for people who are married, right? Like you should be able to know.
I can feel that.
Yeah. Like you should know how to do everything yourself.
Yes.
And just be able to do it on your own if you needed to.
Lori's dying. Lori's killing herself. Yes. No, I totally agree because I can't believe how. Oh, Patricia.
My husband's my IT guy, so I'm constantly like, help.
No, I remember my kids, like they're now kind of living on their own, doing their own thing, but how useless a lot of the teenagers and the early adults, young adults are when they go away to school. Like just completely blindsided. Can't even grocery shop. And I'm like, how do you not even know how to do all that stuff? My kids are, banking and got the cards and they're budgeting and they're shopping and they're the biggest thing I got to tell you as a mom, I don't know, but my kids are 18 and 21 and I take them grocery shopping now. And it's a pride moment for me, but it also cracks me up laughing is when you go to buy eggs, I go to buy eggs and you always open them and you check them. My mother taught me how to do that, right? When you buy eggs to check them so that they're not cracked. So I have my children who are like 21 and 18 standing in the grocery aisle with all these old people and all these moms, and they're opening it up and they're standing there and they're checking every single egg. And I'm like laughing and crying at the same time going, oh, they listen, and that's so cute. It's like, God, you just look so stupid standing there checking all those freaking eggs just for them to take them home already, Like, I taught them how to do that. So yeah, I think you're right, being independent and being able to enjoy your own company. Like if you can't spend the afternoon by yourself and read or write or go for a walk or clean out your closet, like if you can't do that, you're going to have a problem because you have to spend a lot of time on your own entertaining yourself. And I think, being alone is a good thing. Yeah, that is a good thing. All right. And then Lori's not even going to talk to us about being able to do stuff on your own because she just dying laughing there. So she's not saying anything. All right. Okay. What profession would you like to attempt other than your own, Lori? If you could do anything else in the world, what would you rather it be? If you wanted to try something completely different.
I have a few. I don't know. I think I would actually like to be an interior designer.
Okay.
I have no, you want an apprentice? I have no experience with it or really knowledge or skill, but it would be something that I would like to learn. Like I would have to learn it in order to be able to do it. But I think that I would enjoy the job itself.
Parts of it, probably. Yeah, there's
parts of it
I don't like either. So yeah, there's some parts that I don't like, but it has to be done. I'm not big into all the admin stuff. I mean, I'm okay with admin stuff, but I like just going out and getting everything and putting it all together. I like doing that. I love doing the planning. I love working on construction sites. Oh my God, pulling up to somebody's house and hearing the sounds of tools just thrills me. The smell of wood being cut, that's the problem. There's got to be a group for that somewhere. But I really, really enjoy that. That's just a little off the beaten path. So my husband keeps telling me every time that this is when we move, that this will be the last house that he renovates. And I keep looking at him going like, oh, you so married young girl. Like that's just not gonna happen. Until you can't, we are. Like that's
never gonna stop.
Every house I move into, like there's a wall coming down, there's a wall going up, this has got to be fixed. Like can't live in something that's, if I walk around this wall too many times, it's got to go. I can't,
gotta go.
Nope. See over that? Nope, that's got to go. Or I need a wall because I have nowhere to put a Christmas tree. There's got to be a wall there because I need to put furniture, So yeah, you married the wrong girl. What else would you want to do? Interior design or whatever? Okay, so I'm really sorry because you don't have your earphones and because Lori had a problem with them. There's going to be a delay, and I'm sorry that I sound like I'm over talking you. So when you want to talk, that's fine. Just you might have to repeat yourself again, just because that's just what happens when you don't have the earphones in. So go ahead, Lori.
Okay. I was just going to say, at least he will always have a pretty house, right?
Yeah, whether he wants one or not. No, he will. He will.
You could take my husband if you want for a little bit.
Oh, does he like to do that?
We've lived in a couple homes and all we do is just renovate them all the time. But I actually we're pretty much on equal planes. We both really like it, but he definitely loves a project. He loves a household project. There's always something being done.
My husband can tell when I start going around, like everything's done, and I start walking around with like a notepad, walking through rooms. He's like, "Oh,
yeah,
there's a make work project coming, isn't there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there is." When you're in the dead of winter and there's nothing going on, or it's just really super slow in the summer and you're not doing anything, you're supposed to be on vacation. My poor husband doesn't have a vacation. He gets to do something in the house on his vacation.
Yeah.
So next vacation is building a shed and finishing the little storage room downstairs. He's like, "This is what I like to do." So this
is vacation.
It's vacation for me.
Yeah.
My project management, that's why. No, I tiled before. The first time I tiled was this house. I had to do a backsplash, and I have a photograph of me doing the backsplash, which was great. And I got a green shirt on, a really dark green shirt, and I've got the hopper. I think you did your backsplash, right, Dana, in your house? Or did you do it?
My husband did it, yeah.
Okay, so I had the hopper thing where you put all the mud on, and I was holding it here. And like that sucker gets heavy. Like after a while, your arm starts to kind of go like this. So then I decided I was going to prop it kind of like under my armpit there and in my shoulder, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing the whole thing, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I take it off, and I have a stripe right across my chest of this white mud across this dark green shirt. I look at my husband, I said, and this is why women that are large chested do not do any kind of drywalling or any kind of taping. There's a reason why you don't see this on HGTV. Because it's all over the place. But it was fun. The first time I ever did it, I had a blast. It was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dina, what would you like to do? You do so many things now, so I hope you could answer this one. What would you like to do?
I would definitely like to learn illustration, like hand drawing.
Oh, that's related to what you do.
It's not though. My mom's an artist and I cannot draw. Like I cannot. Yeah. Like if you give me a pen and a paper and no. Okay. I'm good at visuals. I'm good at layout. I'm good at bringing concepts together, but like that fine drawing, I'm terrible. And so I've always said to myself, like, I'm going to take an illustration course. I'm going to take an illustration course. Cause I bow down and fangirl of all these like amazing illustrators that I know and follow and sometimes get to work with. And I'm just like, my mind is blown. So I'm just like, I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah. I can do some basic sketches, but I was taking that when I was in school too. And spent a whole semester learning how to do shapes and apples and fruit and 3D and the whole big thing. And I mean, it was okay, but it was laborious. Like it wasn't easy for me. Like it took a lot of effort. Like there were other things that are easy, and so those are more fun. But that was a lot of work to try to do that. So I can totally understand that.
Yeah, my mom. She ran in the art camp.
Sorry, you just got garbled there. I didn't hear.
I said my mom used to run. She used to run an art camp, and so I used to go. Like I used to be a student in the art camp, and I was the worst one. It doesn't matter how many times I learned like the concepts, I just couldn't get it. So I've always been like,
they just don't work.
Yeah, maybe if I actually practiced, I would get better as an adult. So we'll see.
Okay, so if you could, I don't want to do that. What bad habits of other people drive you crazy? Either one of you. Is there something that drives you just
loud chewing?
Oh yeah,
really loud chewing. I can't handle it. My husband is the worst when he eats chips. It's just so loud. We're watching him with him. Like I can't even hear what's happening.
No. So to me, now this might be a little, but it sounds like you're animals who can bend themselves in half and kind of clean body parts that the rest of us can't do. It kind of sounds like animals cleaning that body part at your ear, and you're just like, I'm so turned off of whatever I'm eating right now. That's not going to happen. That's what I hear. I know that's a little weird. That's what I hear.
Oh, good noise.
So, what about you, Dana?
Any sound that
just
I really
a bad habit. a bad habit that people have that drive you just like you go from 0 to 60
many.
like that when somebody does that.
There's so many.
Wait,
We're
okay.
at 25 minutes. We got to be done in an hour. It's all I have
So
time
many.
for today.
There's so many. Well, it took me a long time to realize that I have misophonia, which is what you're describing as issues with certain sounds and things like that. Because I would actually like get quite like anxious when I would hear people, like when I would hear certain sounds, I would get like an anxious reaction. I'd be like, what's that about? And it took me a long time. And like everyone always teasing me about how certain sounds drove me crazy until I realized it was an actual thing.
No, but that's different. That's a medical thing. That's just something that happens to you. This is just a pet peeve.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just
No, I
like
can't even be.
Yeah.
And the pet peeve.
You know, like people that don't signal when you switch lanes, people that think that stop signs are optional, you know, like that kind of sort of thing. Like
People who stop in the very middle of the grocery store lane.
I'm trying
when they're shopping with their cart.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
Just
about? And they just take up the whole and you're like,
Yeah, for the whole aisle.
people. Okay, so when like you're shopping at a store and people get too close to you when you're like going through the clothing, especially if you're at Winners, which is where
oh yeah,
I
when you just reach over you and grab it and you're
They're
like,
like, no, like
dude, I'm here.
no, I'm in this little box section and then I move over. Like that's how
Dude,
this
I'm here.
works.
There's a buggy.
Come in. I'm
Dude,
like,
I'm
no, this is my time.
That's very rude.
Yeah.
And they don't even say excuse me. I think it's manners for me is the thing. I mean, you're gonna butt in front of people, you're gonna, you know, get in the line, you're gonna forget something and run and do something. But I think it's manners. I think it's the pleases and the thank yous and the excuse me's. Like, I'll forgive you for, you know, reaching over me at Winners or cutting me off at the grocery store or whatever. But like, be a human being and recognize that I'm here and you're in my way and apologize for doing that. I think manners is probably my biggest thing. It doesn't take a lot to say please and thank you to anybody. I mean, my husband gets me a cup of tea or he gets me something when he goes to the kitchen, a glass of water, and I will say thank you. And I'll say, can you get me something, please? Yeah. Like, I've been with him for over 25 years, and I always still say please and thank you.
That's so
Even
nice of you.
Kids, you know, and you're bossing your kids, and it's like, can you come down here, please? And you have to clean up the dishes now, please. Or, you know, can you do this for me? Thank you so much. Like, I've always just please and thank you, please and thank you. I just think I think if you can't have manners for the people you live with, they're really the most important people. They're the ones who should get the best attention. They're the ones who should get the best of you because they're with you 24/7. You know, don't save it for the strangers. They don't care. They're not going to see you again. Save it for the people that you live with in your building because those are the ones who are going to throw you under the bus when it's convenient, or those are the ones who are going to come to your rescue when you need them. So they're the ones that get the priority. That's how I think.
That's true. I'm going to work on saying please and thank you to my husband more.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good because your kids, you look at her laughing. Okay, we're going to follow up with that, hubby. You know what? He and I are going to be working on a job site. And we're going to be complaining the whole
No,
entire
I
time.
yell up and I'm like, get me water. I'm thirsty.
Please, I love you. Please, you just slide that in there.
Please.
Magic.
I feel like, okay, here's my comment with the kids because my kids are little. It's kind of like this new parenting style to say please to your kids all the time. And it's like, can you put your shoes on, please? Can you do this? Even when they're driving you insane, I hear all these moms be like, stop doing that, please. Stop doing that. And I'm like, no means no.
That's when you're begging for something. That to me is different. I don't get that. I'm a little old school, maybe because I'm a little older. I don't know, but I'm not here to beg you to do what you have to do, which is to look after yourself or clean up after yourself or do your laundry, whatever you have to do. I'm not here begging you to do what your responsibility and your obligation is as a family member in this house. That's different. This is if you're just sitting on the couch and you're lazy and you know you could get up and get the remote control, but your kid's running by and you're like, you know, honey, can you do mommy a big favor, please? Oh, thank you so much, because you're lazy, you don't want to get up, right? That's where you use the please and the thank yous. But to get them to get their shoes on, get them to be responsible to look after themselves, that's just their job. Like,
I know, but a lot of
that's your job. You live there, you have to do stuff. Yeah. So yeah, there's no please and thank yous. Those women who do that in the grocery store, I'm like, you know, that little shit's gonna grow up at 16 and tell you where to go and take all your money. And I'm like, no. no, I'm sorry. My mother always said that your kids have to, and she didn't mean it. I know where she came from because she, you know, she's older and she came from a different generation, but she's always like, your kids have to be afraid of you a little bit. And I think what she really means is there has to be that level where they know they've gone too far. It's a respect thing, but they also have to know that, there is a little bit of, they don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to upset you. They don't want to go a little bit over that line because there's going to be consequences. And I think that's just the boundary thing. I'm not afraid of my mother. I can say that quite confidently because she's living in Goderich, which is about 3 hours away. So I'm not afraid of you, Mom, and she's going to be watching today. So I'm going to hear from actually my mom and my really good family friend, her aunt, they're going to be special guests next week because I don't have it booked anymore. Everybody's on holidays. I think it's going to be at 7:00 next Thursday.
Nice.
Kind of the vacation day. So I'm going to have my mom on, which is, I don't know how that's going to go. It could be really bad or it could be really good. So we're just going to see how that goes. Hi, Lavinia. No, she'll be fine. I've already warned her. There's no bad story.
It'll be good.
You can't make fun of me. You have to just love me and be my supporter, or else I'm cutting you off. Oh, we lost Dorothy. Gee, I wonder what happened. Difficulty. No, it'll be fine. I think it's good.
Cut off your own mother.
Well, she's 3 hours away. She can't hit me. And she can still motor. Like, she golfs 3 times a week. My mom can still move. And she's older than 75. And that's all I'm allowed to say because I really will get in trouble if I tell you that. Okay. So what's the one thing you're looking forward to doing when you retire? Now, you guys are a lot younger than I am, but it's going to creep up on you faster than you think. So I'm 53 and I'm looking at, 5, maybe 10 years down the road, I'm going to be done. So if you can think about that now, what is the biggest thing you're looking forward to when you retire? I'll let Dana go first on that one.
Travel.
Really?
Yeah. Travel is definitely my retirement plan as much as possible. And staying active for sure. My dad's retired and my mom is just half runs her business and enjoys other times. So yeah, I can
What's
kind
the place you'd like to go first? Do you have like a first stop, like a first kick of the can?
Well, I hope I get to go back to a lot of places before I retire. Let's see what happens in definitely not the next year. But after that, I would like to, I've never been to Asia, so I would like to go to Asia. I'd like to explore more of Europe than I already have. And we like the Caribbean too. So just I would love to cross some things off my bucket travel list.
So you're going to be living in one of those. My mother lives in one of those. She goes to Florida 6 months a year. Then she lives in Goderich other 6 months. And she has those. She lives in a seniors park, like those mobile homes, but they're gorgeous. Like this one she's living in now is beautiful. 2 bedrooms, bigger kitchen than what I have. It's really, really nice, fireplace and everything. And I'm like, I'm thinking that's kind of the way you should go because it frees up so much time and cash to be traveling everywhere else because you don't have a house that's worth $500,000. You've got all this money to go have your life. I'm like, my mother is living like a teenager with money. I'm just like, this is crazy. I want to do that when I get to her age. That's how I want to retire.
Yeah. Just be able to get up and go and plan a trip 2 weeks, in advance type thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little longer because you got to get your meds filled before you go.
I'm really active, so I don't need meds.
Well, you could need something. Maybe 1 or 2.
My husband's a lot older than me, so he'll have the meds, and then I'll carry them for him.
Deal. Okay, Lori, what about you? What are you looking forward to doing when you retire?
I want to move back to the country.
Oh, okay. So back
I grew up sort of.
Where did you come from?
Not like this country, but like middle of nowhere. Like, sorry, my children have found me. You're supposed to be upstairs. Sorry. So I grew up like very little town, and my parents had a garden center, and they always grew vegetables and flowers and everything outside. So, sorry, give me just 1 sec.
No worries. We've all been there. You know what? I every single mother, and I will ask you too, because every single mother I've ever talked to since I've been a mom, it doesn't matter what you're doing in the house and the kids are around. The moment you go to the washroom or you get on the phone, boom, there's a child.
They'll find
you.
Is
that not true?
Yeah, no, it is. Mine go away. So mine are out right now. I send them to Nana's 2 days a week right now until school and daycare opens back up.
Yep.
But yeah, they're due home in a bit, so we'll see.
But it's true. Like I just tell my kids, like unless somebody's bleeding or the house is on fire, you're not getting in this door. I'm allowed to go to the washroom by myself. The biggest thing I tell new moms is you'll never pee alone until you're like you just won't.
True.
Like
And then
it's a
normal. It's just so normal. We live in a tiny bungalow, so like there's no escaping. Like it's not like I go to the second level to get like a break, right? Like it's just like no, they can find me. So you hear everything. It's just
It's like you leave breadcrumbs everywhere you go. It's like
I can't get far.
Betrayal.
I have to leave and get in my car and go drive away to get the break.
Wow. Okay. All right. What do we got here? So, okay. Where am I gotten here? All right. So, what personality trait has gotten you into the most trouble? I'll ask Lori because her eyes went like he was like, "Don't ask me. Don't ask me." It's like being with Karen's meeting school like this. She's like, "Okay, so I think you're gonna go first."
I have a little bit of a temper, and it leads right. Yeah, nobody ever believes me except for the people who like see it. But like I'm very protective of my friends and family, and I have absolutely no problem telling off strangers like anywhere we are. So there's been a couple of times when people have like, I don't know, like there was one time when this truck like honked at us because we weren't moving fast enough down the street, and then like whipped around the corner, and so I went over and told them off. And it's just things like that. I have a temper, and then these words just come out, and then I feel bad afterwards.
So you stopped this poor guy in his truck to tell him that's what he did to you.
Yeah.
I had a guy do that to me last week. I was pulling out of my street, and there was a car blocking road. I was pulling out this way, and I couldn't see around the car to see if there was cars coming. So I pulled a little bit further over. There was nobody there. There was nobody on the sidewalk. I wasn't like in the middle of the intersection. But this guy came whipping over, and I guess he wanted to park where I had pulled out. So he then went in front of me, and he started yelling and screaming at me to tell me to like, stop earlier. And I'm like, I've lived on this street for 3 years. I know where the stop sign is. The guy on the other side of the road, the road I had to pull out. I couldn't see what I was doing. And then he followed me down to the grocery store. And then I parked, and he started yelling at me again. And I'm like, so I just, like, I drove away and thinking, you see stupid written here? Like, I'm going to get out and let you continue to harass me? Like, what is wrong in your world that you have to follow somebody? I was followed years ago when I was pregnant with my son. Oh, my God, freaked me out. I was going to work. And I drove all over the place. That was before I had a cell phone. And I was driving all down these little streets trying to find out where the police station was where my girlfriend worked because I was panic-stricken. This guy followed me for over 10 minutes. And I didn't want to stop moving my car because I was afraid he would get out. He actually blocked me from part of the road. I had to drive up on somebody's yard to get around him because he ran to my car and he ran over top of the hood of my car. And I was like 7 months pregnant, flipping. I'm like, what is wrong in your world that this is the highlight of your day? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you need to go somewhere and get some help because this is not a big deal. In the scope of the entire day, me, not letting you in or whatever, or moving into the lane, like, get a grip, people. Just get a grip, Prozac, big amounts of it. That's all I got to say. Well, I shouldn't say that. Don't anybody be offended by that because mental health is a huge issue in my family. We deal with it. I'm a pro at it. So if you got offended that I made that comment, you can just click off the show and watch somebody else. Because don't even have this debate with me about mental health. I will win it every single time. Okay. That's my angry mom face. We're all done with that. All right, let's go to something funny.
I will bring it.
Sorry? Okay, something funny.
It's like you will bring the knowledge, right?
Just can't stand it, like this is not a free-for-all here. This is my show. It's a little fun thing. And if you want to bash me, I'm not interested. Go to the next person because I don't want to hear it. So if you had an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life. Sorry? Say that again, Lori?
Has it happened to you that people have negatively made negative comments about your show? Really?
About anything that I post. And I actually will put on something. If it's controversial, I try to stay away from political things. I try to stay away from stuff like that, parenting stuff. I try to stay away from, religious sort of stuff. I mean, everybody's got their own personal thing and to each their own. I'm not here to judge anybody. So if I'm putting something out there in social media or whatever, at a group or whatever, and I'm doing it to make a point about me or to be sympathetic to you or to impart some kind of, education or something, I'm not going to judge you for yours. I don't want you judging me for mine. If it's not your cup of tea and you don't want to hear it and it doesn't float your boat, just quietly and politely go away, because I don't need to engage with you. I'm just allowed to have my opinion and my point of view, as you are allowed to have yours, but I don't need to debate. I don't need to make an enemy out of you. That's not what I want to do. I'm allowed to express my point of view just because we can do that here. But yeah, people will go off the deep end, and it's just like, no, I have to put and say, this is not the forum for this. If you want to have a private debate with me, A, you have to ask permission if I want to participate, and B, we don't do it in front of everybody. That's just not where this. Not where this goes. But I only made that comment about the Prozac thing because I can, just like I can talk about being short. I can do that because I am, right? I can do that to myself. I wouldn't do that to you, but I can do that to me. So I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. So if you had an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Now, the examples here were Scotch tape and sushi, which are not any two things that I would need for the rest of my life. But yeah, if there's one thing you could have for the rest of your life, what would it be? Unlimited supply, copious amounts, never have to worry about it ever disappearing. Do you have anything that you would want to have? That's hard.
Peanut butter cups?
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
She goes right to junk food. Not to anything practical like
Right to junk
I don't know,
Not messing around.
electricity or money.
No.
Just right to the food, right to the junk food. That's priority.
Candy. I need candy.
Candy. Yeah. I think chapstick, to be totally honest. I use it all the time, and I use it at night when I go to bed. I have for years. That seems like a little thing, but it's part of my nighttime ritual. But yeah, I think if I didn't have that, or like lip gloss or something, I'm a lip gloss junkie. I think that's what I would need. So what about you, Dane? Anything that you could use?
that I could never not have in my life, like I need it, is music for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I can't imagine that like not being part of my day.
So Lori goes to junk food. I go to chapstick. And then we have the philosophical, lovely person here with the heart of gold who wants music. And I'm like, okay, now I just feel like
I just can't imagine my life without music.
This was a great show. I'm going to go now. All righty. Dane's going to be hosting it from here on in. So I'm blaming this on the medication. This is what I'm doing. On all the cold drugs I'm on today. Like, there. All right. So all right. So what is your favorite word, Lori? As you're the word lady, do you have a favorite word?
That's a really tricky one for me. That one's really hard. I think resiliency is my favorite word.
Okay. Does it
just
mean
like
something
the
special,
thought of, just like, being able to, life is sometimes going to throw you stuff that you're not going to expect. And you've got to be able to kind of roll with it and get back up and, just keep going on.
So you like it because of its meaning. So it means something to you, and that's why you like that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like
the
picture kind of get.
This is one's hard. See, this is one Lori knows right off the bat.
Yeah.
What word do I love the most? I love the word love. I know that's super cheese, but
no, it's not. It's your word.
I like saying it.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah, I like saying it. I use it.
It's got a nice rhythm to it. Love, like it's got that. Yeah, that has a nice smooth rhythm. That's a good word.
It's one of those words I overuse a lot in all capacity, like with my work, with my home. Like love it, love it, love it, love it all day long.
But it's a nice, easy sounding word. I don't like words that are really kind of hard and kind of crisp sounding and very kind of curt and very short. I don't like little words like that. One of my favorite words, and I've said it before here, and it's not necessarily for what it means. It sounds fun to say, is discombobulated. I just like saying the word discombobulated. I mean, it means mixed up and confused and, stuff like that. But it's just such a really cool, unique word. Like nobody uses it anymore. I like big words that have old-fashioned kind of old-timey English language words because people don't speak like that anymore. They don't. In Ireland, my mom's from Ireland, and she'll say things like grand and brilliant. And I'm like, those are really nice words. Awesome. Like we have so many wonderful, cool words. We need to kind of expand a little bit and get out of that bubble of the same three things all over again. So that's what I think about words. So, When you were a child, Dana, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think I wanted to do anything in theater, like anything that would have been like musical theater related.
And did you do any of that when you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to?
I did a lot growing up, and then I went to university for theater, and yeah, so I think was always, I don't think I wavered too much from wanting to do that when I was a kid. You know, kids move from like thing to thing that they want to be. That was pretty much what I wanted to do.
So how did you get from that, if you went to school for that, into where you are now?
Well,
How
I did a lot of theater, like intensive theater in high school, and I went to a boarding school for performing arts in the States. And then when I went to university in Canada and entered the theater program, I'd kind of already done a lot of it. Like it was a little bit just at a different level. And so at that point, I also was doing some English classes. And so I switched to speech communication and then kind of marketing, and I'd always been creative. So they all sort of flow together pretty well.
So what school did you go to for theater here in Canada?
I went to Waterloo. Waterloo has a theater program. Yeah.
My daughter's going to Sheridan, and they have a pretty big theater program there.
Yeah. I got into Sheridan, into the musical theater program, and I was from Oakville, so I didn't want to live at home. So I was like,
I live in Milton. My daughter's
further.
Yeah. I live in Milton, and my daughter could commute to Oakville, but she's living there because she wants to be on her own. So
yeah. No, my mom would have found me. She would have found me. She would just, what are you doing here on campus?
Well, but that doesn't mean that I cannot find her whenever I want to find her. I just allow myself to not look for her as often as I need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Space, yes. I think they would like space, but you know what? I've only got those two, and that's all there is. And my kids call me a smother, and I'm quite okay with that. I would wear that as a badge of honor. I'm good with that. That doesn't offend me at all. Okay. So, Lori, you too. So what was that question? I don't even know what the question was anymore. What the heck? Okay, the drugs are kicking in. I can't remember what the heck it was. What was the question?
What we wanted to be when we were younger, right?
That's it. Thank you. See?
Okay.
I told these ladies to be on the ball because I was going to go, no, and it didn't help. Alrighty. What did you want to be?
So I don't remember what I wanted to be when I was really little. The first thing I remember is that I wanted to be a psychologist, but that was like high school because my
out on that. You wanted to be
I think my internet is going weird. It's my Wi-Fi.
It's all of our Wi-Fi's. I guess it's
psychologist.
Okay, psychologist. Well, so did you go to school for that, or how did you get from there to copywriting? I mean,
I went to school for psychology for 3 weeks. I went to Wilfrid Laurier. I panicked. I absolutely panicked. My anxiety took over. It's kind of ironic that I suffered from anxiety but wasn't diagnosed until my 30s.
Yep.
That I was going to go to school for psychology. And yeah, I absolutely panicked, and I go to school and get a PhD. Like, what am I thinking? I'm not smart enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. And I absolutely panicked, and I left after 3 weeks.
Wow. Yeah.
So I mean, I love where I am now, and I love how it ended up and everything like that. I don't know if I would have actually thrived in that career anyway, but it's hard. Yeah, it's interesting that it was my anxiety that actually made me leave.
And it's amazing because my daughter was just the other day. I mean, we have issues going on in our family, as I'm sure most people do. And because of that, I think I was able to recognize things earlier on when my kids were growing up, which made a difference then. Because again, when my kids went off to school, you could see the other kids that needed help. I don't know exactly what kind of help, but you knew that help was needed, and they just weren't getting it. And it's very common to not get that kind of stuff till you're in your mid-20s and into your, going into almost your 30s too. Just if you can cope enough, the outside world doesn't really see it, you kind of just skate by. But what's going on behind closed doors, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you had have somebody follow you around all the time, like a personal assistant, not even for your business, just a personal assistant, what would you have them do in your life that you don't want to do anymore? You just could have a lackey, and that's what their job was. What would they do? Okay, so
clean, I think.
Clean? I would love to hire a person.
Clean.
I think if somebody could come
Chef.
and do like the breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And just
Yeah.
and I will clean the kitchen because I like to clean the kitchen. But I am done with cooking and coming up with ideas about what to make. I'm tapped out. Started making dinners.
Mhm.
I'm coming home from school at grade 7, making dinners for 5 people, having it on the dinner table by 5:30 with tea in the teapot for when my parents got home from work. And I'm tapped. Like I just can't even think about anything to have anymore. And then when my kids were small, this one likes this and this one doesn't like this. And then you're making this and no potatoes here and no rice here and broccoli on this one and cucumbers and ketchup on that one. And it's just like you start to lose your marbles. And then your kid becomes a vegetarian and you go on like, that just doesn't work in this house. How do I do that? So
Mhm.
he found you. See, on the phone or in the bathroom, he found you. Hi, what's your
They
name?
have a radar.
This this is my oldest Milo.
Hi, Milo. Can you hear us?
No, he can't. No, he can't because you're in my ear.
Hi. What are you doing today?
He just got dropped off by a fun day at Nana's.
And
Did
she's
you have a fun day at Nana's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nana lets you have as many cookies as you
Yes.
want, doesn't she?
Yes, Nana's much more fun than Mommy is. Okay, you can go put on a show.
Be that way.
I can't. Wonderful. Bye, Dad. Yeah. That's real life. That's
I feel like that's good. I love that.
real
He said hello. He said hello. He's the first one that says hello. Everybody just goes,
life. Because he's used to it. He's used to it
"I'm
now.
not even like this."
Milo, will you send Leo in, please? Oh, no, you closed the door on me. So
You're on your own, Mom.
On the other side of that door.
I don't know. Unless someone's bleeding, I won't go out.
See, you've learned. You've learned. It's good. Oh gosh, what was I at? Okay, so we'll only go for a few more minutes because little people are home and they're going to ruin your house if we do this much longer. So we'll just do one more thing. Okay, so how do I do that? I want something kind of cool and interesting. So we already know what Dana's superpower would be. How about, if you could start a rumor about yourself, what would it be? That's hard. Okay, we'll scrap that one. All right, what's your least favorite part?
No.
Oh, you like that? You want that question?
No, it's too tricky.
It's hard. Okay. So what's your least
I
favorite part?
missed the second question.
What's the least favorite part about working from home? Do you have anything? Is there anything you really don't like working at home?
Right now, everybody being here.
Yes. Yes.
No, under normal circumstances, I think, yeah,
That was the
I think
hardest.
that's tricky. But under normal circumstances, I think, yeah,
Yes. The first 2 weeks when everybody was here was driving me nuts. I was really stressed out. I was really very curt. I was not a very nice lady to be with because I'm used to having the house to myself when everybody's gone. This little
Yeah.
studio was set up in my son's bedroom. He doesn't live here anymore. He has his own place, but when he comes home, the room he stays in. But on my office and my desk setup is downstairs on the main floor, like a part of my living room, because it's a big open space. It's got lots of nice sunlight, and I don't feel like I'm working upstairs in a little hole by myself. It's really close to the kitchen, which is also handy. But yeah, I like everybody being in my space. I had to learn to work around, and you can't come down here or there, and you can't come down here or there. And I was like, it was just really stressful. And I'm looking forward to the day when they can start leaving, for a day here or a day there. It's just I'm like giddy. I'm really excited. I just can't wait for that day to come back. But I've managed. So we've got a little system. If I need to go downstairs and work for a couple hours, I'll tell my husband, I'm downstairs in the morning till noon because I have a networking meeting that I have to do. So then he's up here in the studio working, or if he has to, like, we tag team it so we can take turns until both my kids are back living in their place and we can use offices in each one in their bedrooms. But yeah, having everybody from home. So is there anything that you don't like about working from home, Dana? Or because you work from home all the time?
I do. Yeah, I do. I worked out of a co-working space all last summer, Ace Co-working downtown Oakville. And I really did like, even though I have a home office, I really did like doing the work part and keeping that pretty separate. And only kind of working from home when I really, really needed to.
Yeah.
But so I do miss that because I find it a little bit monotonous to just kind of like have the same thing. At least when you're in a co-working space, you can take a walk for lunch, and you sometimes you have great chats with people around you, and it can kind of energize you a little bit. So it's hard to keep the motivation up and the energy up when you're at home alone by yourself. Yeah.
You find it's hard to like stop working. Like you feel like you're working all the time. Like you're saying, like it's always the same. Like you don't have that break.
I think that I was actually working more before, only because the guilt now, because I can hear them upstairs and I kind of feel like I need to shut off now because they're present. So I'm actually more conscious to like take a break and stuff like that because I know they're upstairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that has actually forced me to work a little bit less, which has been a silver lining. But yeah, it's the division of I like the separate like work and house thing. So I never really minded working in an office environment. I just liked the flexibility now more.
You have the option. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna let you ladies go because, like I said, little people are home and
They're stomping around. I have no idea what they're doing up there.
It's when it goes dead quiet. That's when you get nervous.
You hear one loud thump.
All the noise, like what are you doing up there? And all of a sudden it goes quiet. And you're like. 911. Like you're like at least if they're noisy, I know they're alive, right?
True. It's gonna be a long summer.
It never ends. It's from one extreme to the other, but okay, yeah. 18 and 21, you're always a mother. It doesn't end, and then you have to worry about them getting off the bus and getting home in the dark, and then when it rains and it's icy, can they get down to the bus stop? And you're like, you want to drive over to get them, and you're like. I think I don't like that worry. I like the little kid worry was easier. This worry to me is more stressful. So.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's part of the cycle, eh? I think that's why women start to drink when they stay home. That might be something I might have to get into, but don't worry about that. Another day. Not on cold medication. Drinking on cold medication. Not a good plan. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Nice to meet you, Lori.
It wasn't too painful.
Yes, you too.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize you guys hadn't met before.
No, thank you.
This is a great way to start connecting with people. Awesome. Okay, thank you very much, ladies. You can look after your kids.
It was lovely to chat.
And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining in.
Bye.